What is the most important insight about Native people understanding relationships across differences? The quote I chose is from the Trask reading, and the quote is, in some, I think coalitions need to be viewed by Native people in context of immediate politics. To the extent that coalitions take us away from our people or divert our energies, they are a waste of effort and may actually be detrimental to us. At a certain early historical stage, coalition with non-natives may work. At later, perhaps more developed stages when natives are asserting their sovereignty, for example, coalitions don't usually work. And I feel what this means is that because there's acknowledgement between natives and non-natives, that non-natives won't ever understand some of the connections that natives feel to land or their like differences in like their religion and stuff. So when they get together to fight for certain differences and stuff, natives, non-natives won't be fighting as hard as the natives, and also there's still some animosity unseen there and uncomfortableness. For example, in coalitions between the Hawaiians and non-Hawaiians, especially the Haole, they depend on a certain level of understanding of Hawaiian conditions and on a willingness to learn the principles of white cultural imperialism that has played and continues to play in Hawaii. But there's still a kind of barrier that there's some things they don't really care about, or they're kind of worried because the native Hawaiians have such a connection to the land that the non-native Hawaiians will never understand. There's still kind of a an easiness that the native Hawaiians are trying to get some back their land, and they are like that they don't want it to be the non-natives don't want it to be exclusively just for native Hawaiians, even though they're the ones that kind of took the land and settled there, and they're kind of like the uninvited guest. And another example of this further in the readings is that in a way there's not really whites in the native groups because there's an unease and resentments toward their dominating style that also never arises. So if you keep a distance to certain relationships, natives can speak freely or bitterly without any constraints, and also natives need their own political strength and organizational time to develop their own paths. And certain for certain things in certain relationships, it's better to keep it separate so the native people can improve and grow. And finally, another reason is that there's a historical role of certain groups with, that has certain relationships in the past with natives that just grows this distrust that natives have for the groups. So if you only keep it that some coalitions can be only temporary and make exceptions have and keep that in mind, that we're just trying to tackle one issue at a time temporarily, that's how a relationship can still work between and across differences for natives. And in terms of which kind of relationships are important in native religions, is that in native religions community and within the own native community is very important within the religion, and also the relationship between the land and the human and living things in nature is also very important. For example, that is why some coalitions are best kept at a distance, is that natives natives, especially Native Americans, they have connection to the land that non-natives just will never have or never truly understand. So there becomes an uneasiness because of that, because in their religion, that's very important to them, whether it be the natural world or the mythical world, it all connects together in the Native American religion. So they have this connected to the land and the earth that non-natives won't understand or really fully get. And also in one of the readings from 2 weeks ago of the meeting of the Ohlone people, they talked about how in their relationship across the generations, even though they're in different places, they're connected by a natural resource, the river that connects all the way down from the coast. And I think that also shows how important like the natural world is in the religion because it connects them all and connects all the native people together. Thank you for listening.